Welcome to SantosBrosEat, food worth mentioning.
Where Chef Jeff and his brother Kenny talk about their amazing adventures eating and tasting food that is so incredible, they have got to just share it with the world.
My mouth is salivating already.
All right, well, welcome back everyone to SantosBrosEat. And if this is the first time that you're listening to us, it's more than a welcome back. It's just a welcome to SantosBrosEat. My name is Kenny Santos. I'm with my brother Chef Jeff. Jeff, how are we doing?
Oh, we're doing well. Thanks very much, Ken. It is we're recording today on Family Day in Ontario, Canada. So we have a day off.
Yeah. So if you haven't been here before, this is the type of podcast where, if you like to eat or talk about, just really good tasting foods, or listen to people talk about really good tasting foods, you're at the right spot, because at SantosBrosEat, we talk about food worth mentioning. And this week, or this episode, we're going to be talking about something, the best donuts in Toronto. And this got inspired by an article by BlogTO. We're going to leave, we're going to leave the link to that article in the show notes, because we had a look here, and BlogTO, they have their opinions on what the best donut is, and we want to put our 2 cents in, right, Jeff?
Yes. Yeah, we do, of course. It sounds good to be fair.
Absolutely. And so, on this list, we're not going to be talking, well, besides what I mentioned right now, we're not going to be talking about perhaps Canada's most beloved coffee and donut shop, Tim Hortons, because we're going to be talking about some nice, gourmet specialty donuts, and Tim Hortons just wouldn't make the list.
No,
that's just the way it would turn out.
Yeah. They try, but they're known for their coffee and donuts on the go. If you need something quick, you go to Timmy's. Absolutely. But if you want something more fancier, more gourmet, these are the donuts that you want to try and have.
Absolutely. And we got to remember, it's hard to compare them, because Timmy's donuts, they're simply just not made on site.
No.
Right? They're delivered in, right? And then either reheated, or I don't even know the process, but they're not baked on site, are they?
No, that is right. I can tell for a fact they're baked on a central bakery, and then they get shipped out to the various locations, and then they get reheated. And then decorated or filled based on their criteria. Yeah.
And they do a good job for what they do, but it's just not going to be able to hold up to a place that makes it fresh in-house. Just
that is right.
Where they have a deep fryer or an oven, or however they're doing it, it's just not going to hold up. And so how should we do this, Jeff? How many on this list? There's 9?
There is 9. Yes, there's 9 on the BlogTO list.
Yeah, there's 9 on the list. Should we just go through them, or what should we?
Yeah, let's go through them.
All right, why don't you lead the pack, or lead us in that?
Yeah. So actually, what's funny is the first 2 donuts is we've had and we liked as well. So according to BlogTO, Glory Hole Donuts, they specify Girard, but the one on Parkdale was the first location. So we'll just make Glory Hole Donuts as a whole. Nice. As their first choice for the best donuts in Toronto. And we both, myself and Ken, can both agree that these are very good donuts. Love the play on the name, but in general, they're great donuts. They have all these different flavors. And yeah, one thing about each of these places, they each have their own unique flavors. So you don't have to do the same thing based on the chef or whoever's preparing them. They can make their own flavors. Like, for example, from Glory Hole, we got Chunky Monkey, we got Citrus Chai Brulee, we got the Simpsons Donut, which is like their birthday Coke donut as well. But yeah, and then I was just mentioning to Ken before the podcast, before we started recording, once a year, I guess, I don't know if they team up or they do it in-house. They actually have a fried chicken donut special. And the chicken itself is delicious to begin with. And everything that they do, Glory Hole Donuts, is just amazing. It's like we said before, everything's fresh on site. Last time we went with Diana, they actually, we're still in the pandemic, so you had to pre-order their set of donuts. I think you had 2 or 3 choices, but with the donuts came some cold brewed coffee. So again, they're pivoting with the times. And they have more specials, more offerings, so to make it easier for their customers to do curbside service with more choices and more product available at the time.
You said there's 2 locations, Parkdale and then Girard. I don't even know Girard East. I don't even know where that would. Obviously I know Girard, but where is it?
To be honest, I'm not too sure what it is exactly.
Okay.
But the Parkdale one is just on Queen Street West, just before it turns into King, like just before King and Queen join together on that location there.
Okay.
And Gerard's on Gerard somewhere. We'll get the exact address soon. But yeah.
And besides putting up the article, the link to the article, we'll also put, the Instagram feeds and the websites to the donut places that at least that we've been to that we're going to talk about today. And just like Jeff said, once a year they do something special, and they make this fried chicken sandwich in their donut, which is spectacular. And I remember having that. It's been a couple years since I've had it. But what's nice about it, it's one of those things that's just not going to disappoint. It hits the spot, it tastes good, and it's a very generous portion. What do you remember about it, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. They are big donuts. And I was reading here their article. They actually use what's called a cold fermentation process that allows the rings to be extra fluffy once it hits the deep fat fryer.
Wow.
But taste-wise, yeah. And the texture of the donut, yeah, they're really good.
And if you've listened to some of our podcasts in the past, you're going to recognize that if we're ever talking about donuts and there's a chance to make it into like a savory chicken sandwich, I'm usually pretty excited about that. we had a chance to, we've had, donut and chicken sandwiches before. One that comes to my mind would be the Fried Chicken Festival. That we had that was it was a Mochi. It was a Japanese. They had the Mochi Donuts. They're called now. Shame on me. That's episode 20 on that.
Isabella's.
That's right, Isabella's. Oh, awesome. They're not on this list, but they are worth mentioning because if we're going to be talking about best donuts, they are certainly worth mentioning. And so it sounds like you've had them during the pandemic, Jeff.
Yeah.
They've done their pivot. Do you have a favorite donut of theirs that you like to eat?
To be honest, I really don't. Again, because they have there's so many flavors. And we talked about this before, is that when we go to places, even we have our favorite, we always want to try something new. And it's sort of hard to say, oh, let's try something today, or let's get something we always like. But I think with donuts, because there's just so many out there, with our next place, San Remo, Diana and myself always go for the bacon maple donut, but then we always try to get something different. With Glory Hole, to be honest, it's been a while since we've been there. But I know the Chunky Monkey one they had, I think I mentioned that, is it's chocolate and banana. And
that's
pretty
wrong
good
with that, right?
No, not at
chocolate and banana. Really, really good. But you kind of mentioned number 2, which is San Remo, which is a place I almost felt like you guys would go there at least every month or every other week. It felt like for a while.
Oh yeah, for a while. Yeah, we live so close to there now that, we go there, even pre and post pandemic, and pre-pandemic, and even during pandemic, we go there, line up, or do the curbside service. Yeah, and this takes us all the way back when we first talked about San Remo Donuts. This was all the way back at our second episode 2. So if you want to re-listen to that, and I remember you saying specifically that the maple bacon donut is your go-to. You'll get that every time unless it's not available, along with whatever else you decide to get that day. Right. Oh yeah, that is true. That is true.
And they even do something special for Easter. Don't they have like a Cadbury egg donut or?
They do. Yeah, I mentioned that too. They have a Cadbury cheesecake donut. So basically, it's a filled donut, and it's very, very generously filled with the cream cheese, like cheesecake type icing, a bit more, not as dense as cheesecake is, but inside the cheesecake is the Cadbury mini eggs, and then it's decorated with crushed mini eggs, and then maybe 2 or 3 mini eggs on top, just to give that effect.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff. So that's number 2. Number 3, what's number 3, Jeff?
Number 3 is Bloomers on Queen. And unfortunately, we haven't been there, but it looks like a good place to be.
It's vegan,
by Kirsty Pitts. Oh yeah, it is Toronto's most famous vegan bakery. It's by Kirsty Pitts. If you know where that is in Toronto, that's where they are.
Absolutely. Number 4, the Rolling Pin.
The Rolling Pin on Avenue in Lawrence, so more North York.
Donut Showdown. Is that a show, Jeff?
It is. Donut Showdown is a show.
So the whole reason why I brought up Donut Showdown is because the Rolling Pin was on the Donut Showdown, and They won for their particular episode, and they're very known for their extravagant toppings. So
Yes.
pretty cool. Number 5.
I'm not sure how to pronounce this. My Zadie's Bakery.
My goodness, they have it's a Jewish bakery, and
Yes.
looks like some sort of Jewish pastry thing. I don't even know how to say the name. Do you know what you see what I'm looking at, Jeff?
Yeah, I do. And I'm not too sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to.
I'm going to spell this out, and some of our Jewish friends, I'm also going to try and say it afterwards, but some of our Jewish friends are probably going to laugh at me, but it's Sufganiot, Sufganiot, maybe Ganiot. So I don't even know how that's pronounced, but super popular for that. It's a jelly filled. And so, my goodness.
It's probably reminiscent of the Polish Patskis, before Ash Wednesday, before Lent starts, where they try to get rid of all the fat, so they make these donuts. But yeah, that is amazing. Like, what's the picture of this?
We should try it. Yeah, because their picture, the reason why we're talking about it is because when you look at the picture on the actual article, I mean, it's pretty spectacular. And we got to find out where this place is.
Well, they're in Bathurst. So I've had to guess it's in the Bathurst and Wilson area. So where most of the Jewish restaurants are, which is just south of Little Manila. So, wouldn't hurt for us to have lunch in Little Manila and then head down to My Zadie's Bakery for some dessert.
But it's a place that I want to visit. That picture I want to see. There's something special when you see a really cool picture. Sometimes that's just enough to get you to want to go to a place.
Oh, yeah. Exactly right.
Excellent. And so just to check up here, this My Zadie's Bakery it's in Thornhill, and it is up by, what's the toll route called? 407 in Bathurst. I mean, so
it's way up there.
It's up there. Well, actually, no, it's south of Center, but as I was scrolling around trying to get my bearings, so it's up there. It's
okay.
It's up there. But actually, that makes it easier to park. Instead of going downtown.
It does.
So this makes it easier.
That is true.
Number 6 is a place that I have spent a lot of time inside.
Yes, you have.
Because we did the donut making workshop. And I am trying to remember. I did that, with my son, and I'm trying to look up what episode that was. It was episode 26, Gourmet and Donuts.
Yeah, there you are.
That workshop with my son. That is an awesome experience. So we did everything from frying up the donut, actually rolling out the dough, to frying up the donuts. And then our favorite part, we got to decorate the donuts, and we could decorate it as much as we want. And when you look at the pictures, you could probably pick up the pictures on the Instagram feed, or looking at episode 26, Gourmet and Dipped Donuts. We did some great, my son made the Homer Simpson donuts. We did a triple chocolate donuts. We did all these different things that were a lot of fun to do. And it was a situation where we could put as much or as little topping as we'd like. If we wanted to overfill the donuts, we could do so. And it was just a fun experience. But besides it being a fun experience, they just have good food there. They just have really tasty food. They're located on the Danforth. Vaughn Donuts, and my goodness,
that's right.
Go visit them again because they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, and since we're on topic of episode 26, they're not on the blog TO list, but Diane and I went to a place called Dipped Donuts in the Kensington Market area, and they're also some great donuts there. Those are the ones that had the little mini bombs. Like this. Oh yeah, the Beets spice bomb.
Yeah. The Beets. Now this is the one where the ring, where one of the donuts, I think it was the Nutella one, where the ring was actually filled.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Those are good donuts. Yeah. So
they were.
They're just called Dip Donuts. Is that what the place?
Dip Donuts. Little hole in the wall in Kensington Market. But yeah, it was. These were delicious. They had maple bourbon bacon, matcha raspberry, a whole assortment of flavors, and it was hard for us to choose just 4. The beet one we didn't choose, but I think we said that next time we're there, we'll try them.
And here's something that I remember from that episode is that they really, really use local ingredients. As a matter of fact, the bacon they use is like kitty corner, isn't the butcher? Right across
Santigan Meats. Yeah, Santigan Meats provide the bacon for Dip Donuts.
And I believe the bourbon's local too, is it not? Isn't it from a
Yes, it is.
Distillery?
I forgot what. I think it's 40 Creek Bourbon, just down by Niagara Falls area.
So how fun. And I remember this is because all of their donuts, like the base of it, are all the same. It's just a plain, really well made, deep fried donut. And I remember thinking to myself, if these things were plain, they would be good. I remember saying that on that episode. So again, episode 26, great place that you kind of want to have a look in there. And then number 7 is a place that actually was in the last maybe 3 weeks. You mentioned this on just kind of chatting as a place that we want to go is a Union Bakery. It's a Filipino Canadian bakery out in Scarborough, so
that is right.
Close to us here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those places that I'm not too sure how long it's been there, but Ken and I are Scarborough boys and we haven't been here yet, which is a shame for us. But like Ken just said, they do Filipino pastries as well, including empanadas and ensamadas.
Nice.
But if they make Blog Teo's list, then that's one place that we definitely need to go.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this, like any of the places that we haven't been to, we fully intend on going, to these places sooner or later.
Yeah.
Because we've only been to 3 out of 9 here, and
I know
it's on the list. So
yeah,
we want to go to My Zadie's, we want to go to the Rolling Pin Bloomers on Queen. We want to go to all these. So yeah.
And speaking of Scarborough, just up the street from Port Union Bakery is Lamanna's, and we just recently did our season 2 second episode on Lamanna's Bakery, so that's still fresh in our minds. They had the strawberry shortcake donut, which was really good.
That was fun. Yeah. So Lamanna's Bakery. Yeah, that was season. Yeah, it was the second episode of season 2.
So Port Union Bakery will for sure will be hitting you guys up. Yeah,
that'll be fun to do. And then we got 2 more on the list. Macchino Donuts.
I think Macchino.
They have vegan donuts here, plant-based flavors, miso caramel. Okay, I got to stop right here. When you say miso and caramel together, or even miso and maple together, that gets me pretty excited. For those that don't know, Jeff, what's miso?
Miso is basically a soy-based flavor. It's very like miso soup. It's very salty. So of course the mixture of the salt and sweet with either the matcha or the maple, that's a really good combination.
Yeah, because lately these last couple of years that salted caramel has become really popular. And what could make it better is just miso caramel. Is just salted, just miso.
Oh
caramel.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward, even though this place is vegan and plant-based, I want to try that miso caramel. They have a topping there for their donuts. Again, they're Macchino Donuts. And oh my goodness, they even have
I'm looking through their website, to their Blog TO article, and they actually also have some local ice cream. And you can actually make like an ice cream sandwich with either cinnamon rolls, cookies, and I'm assuming if you wanted to, you could ask for a donut ice cream sandwich as well on those hot summer days.
That'd be fun. I'm looking at that, and so you're not going to get bored, at a place like that, because there's always something that you could try. That's always something that you haven't done before, So definitely want to try. Do we know where they are, Jeff?
It says I'm trying to think of 823 Bloor Street West. So if I had to guess, it's probably near Ray Christie Pitts area. But the other donut place, what was it called? I forgot what it was called. But in that area as well.
Okay.
Let's see. Contact us. Yeah.
Oh, so very good, very good. And then our last.
It is right by Christie Pitts. I apologize, but it is right by Christie Pitts.
Perfect. So we go to now. The other place was, what was it? Was that Bloomers?
I think it was.
Was on by Christie Pitts. Yeah, if you just want to have a donut day, how fun!
Yeah.
You just go down there and get that. And then last on the list is the White Lily Diner. It's in Riverside. All right, it's more than a diner. It says, and oh wow. So they do 2 to 3 different flavors daily from Wednesday to Sunday. So it sounds like this is one of those places that you're not sure what they're going to be doing, or they're going to be doing a donut of the day.
Yeah.
Surprise, which is kind of neat. Interesting that they made the list, right? So,
it is. So it says something when a diner makes a top 10 donut or top 9 donut list, because donuts isn't really they're on their main menu.
Yeah. because I'm on their page right there, or their blog to page, and I see things from smoked salmon to brunch things people would eat for brunch, and sandwiches and Reuben sandwiches. Don't see anything about their donuts.
No, not at
Actually, you do
all.
see it near the bottom that they have a couple of things about their donuts. But if they're making the list, that tells you something. It tells you
Yeah.
that this is a place that we need to be trying. So they're in the Riverside area.
Yeah, they're by Queen Street East and Broadview area.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, by that park. Well, Riverside. Yeah. So really good. Really good. Want to try that out. So we do have some kind of places that we already mentioned Dip Donuts because they didn't make the list. But here's something that I just thought of. And this is a place that we talk about them a lot. We talk about them about their fried chicken. We also talk about them for their mac and cheese. It is Dope as Duck in Etobicoke.
Oh, that is right.
Spectacular donuts.
They are
spectacular.
They are. Actually, they're actually churro donuts. So
yes,
that makes them a bit more individualist because it's more unique. Instead of regular donuts, it's a churro-based donut. So they're deep fried, a bit of cinnamon sugar on it, but then of course they will add their own little flavors to it to make it more unique.
And Ray has a good palate and he has some good imagination. So he does some savory stuff, and he'll do not like sweet savory stuff for his donuts, and then he'll of course do the more traditional sweet stuff too.
Yeah.
But, it's a great place. And then we did mention Isabella's because that's a fried chicken festival. And there's another place we were just talking about it. What's the place on Markham Road, Jeff?
Yeah, it's back to Isabella's. They're the Mochi style donut.
Yes.
So it's a rice based flour. So something that people with gluten intolerance or GF needs, there's a place to go. But the place we just talked about as well was called La Mochi, and they're in Scarborough in the Markham and McNichol area. We haven't been here yet, but I believe Ken saw it first, either on blog.to or just online on Facebook. So yeah, Japanese mochi style donuts.
Yeah, so those guys are on our radar as well. So next time we'll have a chance to probably visit them. It'll probably have to be to go just because of the way the restrictions are going. But
and it looks like so the Mochi Donut, the place, they actually do. They're Japanese based, and they sort of do that Japanese twist because they could do special character donuts. They actually can customize name donuts, limited edition. Then they Diane will like this complimentary cat mochi donuts. So they actually put little things of fondant or royal icing to make it look like various characters or a cat. And I guess the lettering is also in royal icing as well.
That's fun. This is kind of neat. Like if you want to have a special gift that's not too over the top, you get a special donut made for someone or for a child or something, or just a significant other, or just a close friend. You can do something like that. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. And also as well, just to mention two more places that have donuts. There's one in Square One Mall, Mississauga. They're called Square or Box Donuts, I think it is. And hence the name, their donuts are actually in a square shape.
Fun.
Yeah, it's really unique. So I guess they have a special cutter. They deep fry it. And so that's how they're unique to get that way. It's been a while since I've been there. I guess, again, they have the regular flavors, but they also have some gourmet flavors. And then one out in on Bathurst and Front Street on the Stacked Market. So Stacked Market is, they took old shipping containers, the ones you see on boats, and they made various retail outlets, whether it be food, coffee, clothing. I think BMO or Scotiabank has a mini branch in there as well. And then there's a brewery in the back. But Monster Donuts is located in one of those location containers as well. Again, another gourmet style donut place. It's been a while since I've been there, so I do remember that they had some good flavors as well.
Very good. And they're called Monster
Donuts. Yeah.
Nice. And since we're talking about them, I mean, just last episode, was it last episode? Yeah, from Beignet Shoppe, which is the pop out of Six Spice food truck. Awesome donuts out of there. We had their beignets, and then we also had their Omg Beignet, which was that was the one that was filled with the cheesecake. Cheesecake and with Nutella. I mean, that was just a flavor explosion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, like we said before last week, or when we recorded this, they're actually back at Street Eats Market, and they just came out with a lemon flavored beignet, which I hear is just amazing. Like a lot of lemon pop in this donut, in this beignet, as I should say.
There's a lot of magic in a fresh beignet. And the reason why is because it's hot right off the fryer. They drain it a little bit. And, you know, at its most basic form, it's just served to you with a little bit of powdered sugar, and you shake it up in that bag, and it tastes good and tastes so awesome just because it's so fresh and still warm. The fact that they make now, if I remember correctly, Jeff, you said that the OMG, it looked like it was kind of pre-made or something, so it didn't have that same.
Exactly right. Yeah, I think as well with this, the lemon beignet they're making, they'll make a few ahead of time just to get the orders out, but then they'll still make them quote unquote fresh, but they won't be as fresh as the regular fresh out of the fryer donuts, unfortunately.
You know what? That is not going to stop me from trying their lemon beignet.
Oh no.
If I have a chance,
right?
Because if you guys remember, lemon custard is one of my favorite dessert profiles. It's one of my absolute favorites, so I'm looking forward to that. So just a great a great episode that we've talked about. Had a chance to talk about donuts a little bit. We have had 3 out of the 9 that were on Blog TO's list. And we love them, and now there's more on our radar. We mentioned some that we love. Oh, that's right. Yeah. About Dope as Duck. I mean, we talked about Dope as Duck. That's episode 31. We're talking about their donuts in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our take on Toronto's best donuts, and we are looking forward to next time when we talk about more food worth mentioning. And before I let Jeff sign off, I just want to remind you, if you're getting value from our podcast, if you're getting entertained, and if you're liking our recommendations, then we invite you to do something super simple: to like, subscribe, share, comment, leave us a review. It's a very easy way, and it's a simple way for you to support our cast, and you can do it for free.
And then until next time, remember this quote from Julia Child: people who love to eat are always the best people.
And that includes my brother, Chef Jeff Santos, and I'm his brother, Kenny Santos, and you as well, if you love to eat food worth mentioning. Thanks a lot, everybody.
All right, take care. You've been listening to the Santos Brothers Eat.
Food worth mentioning.
I might have that next time I go there.
Like, it's so good. It's so good.